Hello everyone, and welcome back. I've got my book, so let's go explore Hygge, shall we? As always, if you don't remember where we were, rewatch the previous video. It's good for the algorithm. Hygge is for everyone, and I mean everyone, even the people you don't like. The list of concepts above doesn't only provide evidence that it is possible for people other than Danes to experience Hygge, but also that they already do. It is important to note that the concepts across countries aren't completely identical. But what they all share is that they are more developed and complex versions of a feeling of coziness, warmth and togetherness. The various words denote groups of different activities and settings that generate similar and related feelings which have merged into linguistic concepts. Danish Hygge and Dutch Gezelligheid may stand out a bit from the others though, as they are so integrated in daily conversation and lifestyle. One could ask whether this is in any way beneficial. It may be difficult to provide a simple answer to this question, but it is worth mentioning that according to the European Social Survey, Denmark and the Netherlands are among the countries with the fewest people who seldom enjoy life or rarely feel calm and relaxed. Also, these two countries represent the very top of the official happiness charts commissioned by the UN. So what's in a name? On the one hand, the specific name has no value in itself. Hygge works just as well as hominess or Gezelligheid. On the other hand, we use names to capture feelings of coziness, warmth and togetherness, to shape it into a more fixed concept. And eventually we develop a phenomenon that marks our unique cultural traits. Why different languages have unique words? Excuse me. I've yet to get this itching under control when I do these videos. Thought I would have done by now. Really would. Right. Why different languages have unique words? A Finn and a foreigner, I presume in this case a foreigner means someone that isn't a Finn or Finnish, walk in the Finnish woods. The Finn says, "There is a tokka behind you." The foreigner, "Oh what? Splat." The Finn, "Tokka, splat." I'm not sure whether this is a joke in Finnish, but it should be. Tokka translates as large horde of reindeer. Now in most languages it doesn't make sense to have a separate word to describe a large horde of reindeer as opposed to a single reindeer, but in Finnish apparently it does. Fun fact, I once fed a reindeer when I was in Finland. They ate dried up moss. I say dried up, it was just dried moss. Didn't really look appealing to me, but they seemed happy enough to eat it. Our language reflects our world. We give the things we see, things that matter, names. This is not news. In the 1880s, anthropologist Frans Boas, when studying the Inuit people living in northern Canada, was intrigued by the Inuit language, which had words such as akalokok. I am most likely butchering this, so my apologies in advance to any Inuit viewers. Although I don't think I have any, but just in case any Inuits are watching, I apologise now for butchering your language. Let's start this again. The Inuit language, which had words such as akalokok to describe softly falling snow, and pikanotok for snow that is very suitable for driving a sled in. Now, before I say anything, imagine the Inuits that do live way out north, where there's snow most of the year. It would make sense that it would have different words for snow. In English, which originates in England, you only really get snow in winter. Not even that now. So you wouldn't really get different types of snow. Maybe 2 or 3. You get the slushy kind. And you get the frozen kind. And the bit in between which you see in all the American films and shows, you don't really get here. Maybe another part, but not around where I am. But it does actually make a lot of sense to me that the Inuit would have different words for different types of snow, since, you know, they live, some of them probably live in it all year round. Right, back to the book. Following these discoveries, the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis say that a culture's language both reflects how people experience their world and affects their actions in it. Would we still feel love if we had no word for it? Of course we would. But what would the world be like if we had no word for marriage? Our words and language shape our hopes and dreams for the future, and our dreams for the future shape how we act today. Differentiation between newly fallen snow and old snow led the Inuits to act differently. While Europeans will most likely have treated the various kinds of snow the same way, this reflects a need for differentiating between forms of snow which is organised through language. Now, this does make a lot of sense, because if you remember, the Inuit had Akalokok, which is most likely pronounced wrong, describes softly falling snow, and they used the word Pikanatok for snow that is suitable for driving a sled in. So obviously you would say something like, it's over there, just take the Pikanatok, the snow that is suitable for a sled, which is over there. Whereas the snow over there, which isn't suitable, will probably have a different word. But you have a separate word for it, you automatically know what it means. And it saves you saying the snow that is safe to drive a sled in each flipping time. If you think about it, people, this makes a lot of sense. That people who spend more time snow would have more words for snow. One perspective on why we develop these unique and untranslatable words is that we, as part of a specific culture, practice specific traditions and models of behaviour, and we need words for them. Some words are easier to translate, especially tangible physical things. We can point to a dog and say dog, peril, or hund. A dog is a dog no matter if in the UK, Guatemala, or Denmark. Meanwhile, there are countless untranslatable words around the world. Though some of these words are easier to define than others, some, for example, can easily be explained in a short phrase like large horde of reindeer. See, the Finns would have a word for a large horde of reindeer because they have reindeer there. In English, there is no word because we don't have reindeer here. I know they are in Canada, but this would have been, you know, after the English language had really developed into its own thing. But when the word is an intangible concept, it becomes more complex and difficult to explain and translate. This is an issue I frequently face as a happiness researcher, and this is also the case with Hygge as a concept. Throughout this book, I will therefore try to point towards things, experiences and moments that are Hygge, so you will come to an understanding of exactly what Hygge is. And now we have a little map of the world with 10 unique words and phrases from around the world. So I'm going to have I'm going to read each one, tell you the language and show you on the map. So the first one is Iktsurpok, Inuit. The feeling of anticipation that leads you to look outside to see if anyone is coming. See? There's the word, pointing to Canada. Next one, Friolero, Spanish. Person who is very sensitive to cold weather. Now you can't quite really see, but if you look on the fold there, see it's pointing to Spain. We have Kafune, Brazilian Portuguese, not to be confused with Portuguese. The act of Kafune is the act of tenderly running one's fingers through the hair of a loved one. That's nice, isn't it? Okay, next one, you have Hanyauku, which comes from the Wukrangali language in Namibia, which means walking on your toes on warm sand. Now that would make sense because Namibia is very, very sandy. Supposedly has the oldest deserts on the planet. This was according to a YouTube video I saw a few days ago. I presume it's true. Makes sense. Right, next. We have Busat, which is a Sami word. The Sami, for those who don't know, are an indigenous people to northern Scandinavia. And the word busat means a reindeer bull with a single, very large testicle. Okay. I've no dread to that one. Nothing at all. Right. On with the book. Right. We have utepils, Norwegian. Means to sit outside on a sunny day enjoying a beer. Now, more cultures should have a word like that, because most cultures do this. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a beer, it can be a cold drink of your choice, but we all do this now. There is something very satisfying about sitting outside in the warm weather with a nice cold drink. I think it's great that the Norwegians have a word for that. Right. Next one. We have the sunodoko, Japanese. The constant act of buying books but never reading them. I feel targeted here. Do you know how many books I have that I haven't read yet? Too many. That's a word that applies to me. I mean, I'm surprised we English don't have that, because there's so many people in the world, in this country, or in the Anglophone world at least, who do that now. Anyway, back to the book. We have Schilderwald from German, meaning a street with so many road signs that you become lost. Too much of a good thing, maybe. We have, from French, we have Rire dans sa barbe, which means to laugh in your beard, quietly while thinking about something from the past. I'd love to know why the French have a word for that. I really do. And lastly, we have Gattora, Italian, meaning an old woman who devotes her life to stray cats. I know a woman in Egypt who dedicates a good part of her life to helping out stray cats. This isn't in Egypt though. Don't know if the Egyptians or any of the Arabic languages have a word for that though. I mean, in English we usually just use the term crazy cat lady. That's more derogatory, and you shouldn't say that. Shouldn't really call an old woman who likes cats a crazy cat lady, because it's mean, you know? It's mean. You have a look. On the next page we have a picture. Look. And now we have the Hygge dictionary, which we looked over earlier, but I'm going to read through them all. Our word is, there's a little introduction by it. Our words shape our actions. So here are some new words that will help you get the Hygge on. Now, these all appear to be Danish words, so I may butcher these. So if there are any Danish people watching or listening, I am so sorry for what I'm about to do. But it makes you feel better. I was in Copenhagen for a week in 2023 and I had a great time, and I spent a decent amount of money too. Right, first word. Fredagssugar. Sondagssugar. Oh wait, there's little bits here where it tell you, give you the phonetic for English. So let's go again. You have fredagssugar and Sundagssugar. Hygge you have on Fridays or Sundays. After a long week, fredagssugar usually means the family curling up on the couch together watching TV. Sundagssugar is about having a slow day with tea, books, music, blankets, and perhaps the occasional walk if things go crazy. The example sentence they give is, a fredagssugar tradition in the family was candy and watching a Disney movie. Nice. Next we have Hyggebukser. That one pair of underwear you would never wear in public, but are so comfortable that they are likely to be secretly your favourites. I have a pair like that. I don't wear them outside though. I have a pair of underwear that's old and beyond their use, but I'm attached to them. So I have a pair of Hyggebuksers. And the sample sentence is, She just needed a day for herself, so she stayed at home in a Hygge boxer, with no makeup and just watched box sets all day. Sounds like a nice day. Now we have Hygge Jornet, to be in the mood for Hygge, literally meaning the corner of Hygge. Or as one might say, I'm in Hygge Jornet. Next we have Hygge Krog, or Hygge Crow, as it's pronounced. We went for this word earlier, but I'll read it again. The Hygge Crow, meaning the nook of a kitchen or living room where one can sit and have a hyggelig time. You can say to people, let's sit in the Hygge Crow. And next we have Hygge Uncle, a person who plays with the kids and may be a little too lenient, literal meaning the uncle of Hygge. In a sentence you could say, he is such a Hygge uncle. Are you learning, people? I am. Next we have Hygge Snack, chit-chat or cozy conversation that doesn't touch on controversial issues. In a sentence you would say, we Hygge snacked for a couple of hours, which sounds really nice. Next up we have Hyggesten, a moment of Hygge. The example sentence is, he poured himself a cup of coffee and sat at his window for a Hyggestund. Next we have a Hyggelut. While Hygge and hyggelig may be difficult to translate into English, this is not the case when it comes to the anonym of Hygge. A hyggelig Hygge means creepy or scary, and this provides us with some insight into how central the feeling of safety is to Hygge. Walking alone through the woods at night is unhyggelig. If you hear a wolf howling, or someone else for that matter. As my friend pointed out in the cabin in Sweden, the evening would have been even more Hygge if there had been a storm outside. Perhaps Hygge is even more Hygge if there is a controlled element of danger, or Hygge, a storm, thunder, or a scary movie. Where does Hygge come from? Hygge appeared in written Danish for the first time in the early 1800s, but the word is actually Norwegian in origin. Between 1397 and 1814, Denmark and Norway were one kingdom. Danes and Norwegians still understood each other's languages today. Still understand each other's languages today. The original word in Norwegian means well-being. However, Hygge might originate from the word hug. Hug comes from the 1560s word hygge, which means to embrace. The word Hygge is of unknown origin. Maybe it originates from the Old Norse hygge, which means to comfort, which comes from the word hygge, meaning mood. In turn, that word comes from the Germanic word hugjan, which relates to the Old English hugkan, meaning to think, consider. Interestingly, consideration, mood, comfort, hug, and well-being may all be words to describe a moment of what Hygge is today. Now, there's a little Hygge tip here for getting your Danish on. It says, start throwing those Hygge words around. Invite your friends for a hyggelig evening and create compound words like there is no tomorrow. You may also want to put the Hygge manifesto on your fridge to remind you to Hygge every day. And on the next page I'll show you there's some nice looking buns. Don't they look great? I feel hungry just looking at them. It's too late to eat for me. I mean, technically I'm in the dark, I can eat whatever I like, but it's not recommended. Right, back to it. A global conversation about Hygge. Hygge seems to be the talk of the town these days. Hygge, a heartwarming lesson from Denmark, writes to BBC, get cosy, why we should all embrace the Danish art of Hygge. Says the Telegraph and Morley College in London is now teaching students on how to Hygge. The Hygge Bakery in Los Angeles is providing Danish rumkugler, otherwise known as rumbles. Rum-flavoured treats originally made by Danish bakers to use up leftover pastry. In the book The Danish Way of Parenting, you can find extensive chapters on how Hygge is tried to raise the happiest children in the world. And before we finish tonight, because it's the end of the chapter, I will quickly go through the Hygge manifesto. Number 1, atmosphere. Turn down the lights. Number 2, presence. Be here now. Turn off your phones. Number 3, pleasure. Coffee, chocolate, cookies, cakes, candy. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Or whatever you like. Number 4, equality. We over me. Share the task and the airtime. Number 5, gratitude. Take it in. This might be as good as it gets. Number 6, harmony. It's not a competition. We already like you. There is no need to brag about your achievements. Number 7, comfort. Get comfy. Take a break. It's all about relaxation. Number 8, truce. No drama. Let's discuss politics another day. Number 9, togetherness. Build relationships and narratives. Do you remember the time when we done that thing? And lastly, number 10, shelter. This is your tribe. This is a place of peace and security. And that, people, brings us to the end tonight. Next time we shall start chapter 3, which is called togetherness. So until next time, people, take care of yourselves, alright? Bye.